So magnolias are one of the oldest genus of flowering plants. They evolved even before flying pollinating insects, so they're pollinated by a scurrying beetle. There's about 100 to 200 species depending on who you ask, but they're species in their own right are very nice flowering plants, very good garden-worthy plants. But the hybrids of those species and then the hybrids of those hybrids have led to a really diverse range of colours and shapes and sizes, and I'm going to show you a few of the best ones here today. So this is Magnolia soulangeana. Soulangeana is one of the most common types of magnolia in the UK. It's been readily planted for 100 years or so now. And if you're going past a front garden, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be Magnolia soulangeana. They usually have a pink base to the tepal, which turns white, but these cultivars behind me have been selected for their whiter colour. So behind me over there you've got Alba superba, which is just starting to drop now and is relatively early. But then we have Brasonii here, which is only just starting to open. So if you have a cold spot in your garden or a lot of frost where you're from, this will be a good choice. So at the other end of the soulangeana spectrum, if you like, you have this cultivar here, which is called Triumphans. This is a lot more pink in the tepals than Brasonii and Alba superba that we had over the other side of the hill. Unfortunately, this cultivar really isn't available anymore, but there are a lot of pink cultivars out there. Personal favourite of mine would be Rustica rubra. So if you're looking for pink, that would be a good cultivar to go for. So I'm standing beneath Magnolia black tulip, which is the result of a complex breeding program by the Dury family of New Zealand. This is the darkest of all magnolia flowers you can get. You can see here it's a very, very dark wine colour almost, hence the name black tulip. And a plant like this will really give you a dramatic colour in your garden that you can't achieve with many other plants. This is Magnolia Felix Dury, another of the Dury introductions from New Zealand. This one has been said by a few people to be the finest of their magnolia introductions. You can see that this one, the flowers are massive, but they can get even bigger than this in maturity and be up to 1 foot and a bit across. But compared to the Magnolia black tulip we saw a second ago, there's a lot more pink in it, but still a very, very special, majestic plant. This is Magnolia yellow fever. The yellow magnolias usually have acuminata in them, which makes them much later flowering. So starting from about now, going into early summer. This is one of the early flowering yellow magnolias. This is acuminata cross deniodata, and the deniodata gives it a nice cup-shaped flower, and a really good one for the larger garden. And also ones where it's a bit colder, if you've got a bit of a frost pocket, this is a really good plant for you. So this is Magnolia Emperor, which is another very new introduction to the horticultural trade. It's an absolutely beautiful plant. As you can see, it's got that dark colour that we talked about on Felix Dury and on black tulip. It's got another advantage of being scented as well. It also flowers very, very young. So this one went in 2 years ago. It's probably only about a 5-year-old plant. So it flowers at a very young age, which isn't common with magnolia. Rather small, gets to about 5 metres, so it's not huge. It also has the advantage of a second flush of flower in the summer, which you don't usually get with magnolia, so it will flower once again after the spring. You get bang for your buck, which is really good. So just a few tips on establishing your magnolia. Generally speaking, they require an acidic soil, but there are exceptions to that. So if you have an alkaline soil, salatas work really well, cross lobnurais work very well, and Sieboldiis work very well. Generally speaking, you want to give it a frost-free, sunny position, because as they flower early, they are susceptible to late frosts. So the more drainage, frost drainage you can have, the better. A sunny position is very good. If you have a nice open position, they'll branch well and there'll be a nice shape. If you plant them into a shady position or into a woodland, they do tend to get a little bit etiolated and reach for the light. That said, they will still flower well in the shade, but they will flower better in the sunshine. In terms of pruning, you want to do really as little as possible. If you cut them back hard, then they respond by putting on a lot of long straight growth that will then ruin the tree forever, really. You're never going to get that nice shape back that magnolias are known for. During establishment, dry summers, you really need to be watering a lot to get them established. Once they've got their roots away, they should be fine. But generally speaking, once established, they are very easy plants to look after.